Hello, everyone. How are you? Good to see all of you as you come and trickle in. It's great to be live with all of you this morning. Welcome, welcome. It's a beautiful new day, and happy good morning, everybody. I am going to turn some of these bings and bongs off. There we go. So, hi everyone. How are you? Let's talk about addressing your mind's desire to eat. And let's discuss, what do you do when your mind has one idea of what you should eat? And it's like you have these two parts of your brains, right? You have this frontal cortex that really is about making decisions, and it wants to make, you have this part of you that wants to make amazing decisions around food so you can feel good in your body. And then you have this other part of you that doesn't care about those decisions. That's the part of you I like to call your inner 2-year-old, the part of your brain that just wants what she wants. And do you ever notice these two being in major conflict between you wanting to slim down and eating foods that you know make you feel amazing, and then eating foods that don't make you feel amazing, but then you crave them? So what do you do? How do you get these two parts of your brain on board? What happens? What should you do? And so today I want to talk about, what do you do when you have these two opposing forces that seem to be fighting against each other instead of working in harmony with one another? And so one of the things that I did is I created a form for you to just be able to start seeing what is going on. What's happening with your relationship with food? What are you actually craving? And so I'm going to put that form here. Let me just put it in the comment section so you can grab it if you want that form. So, and the form really looks at, what is the impact food is having on your body? Because the first thing we really need to do is you need to know, what is the impact? Because we can go to diet programs and hear that bread is bad, or hear that carbs aren't working for us, or hear that something is not working so well. And in fact, it works great in our bodies. So I don't want you to just assume that you hear that something doesn't work well in your body. Don't assume it until you actually notice it, until you see that, wow, I just had something really, I had a ton of bread and my body's up 3 pounds from yesterday, or 2 pounds from yesterday, or I'm feeling really constipated, right? Don't just assume that a diet or somebody is going to tell you what works best in your body and just take it at face value. See what works for your body. So that's why I created the form, to just start seeing, what impact is food having on your body, so that number one, you can get clear and you can start making and being an advocate for your body, and choosing and seeing and deciding what your body does. Because it's terrible to just take things at face value that someone says works well in your body or doesn't work well, and maybe it works great. There are many naturally thin people that I interviewed that said that they couldn't imagine not having bread, that it works great in their body. It works well for them. So once you discover what really works well and what's not working well, the key is this. A lot of times we tell ourselves we can't have these foods. These are bad. We label them in such a way that don't serve you, that doesn't serve your brain, that makes you just crave them more. How many of you have done that, where you just tell yourself, oh, I shouldn't eat this, but in fact, then by just telling yourself that, you go run the other way. That's when I first discovered that I was absolutely terrible at dieting, because I would tell myself that I shouldn't have something, or it was bad for me and I needed to stay away from it, and then I would just run right to it. How many of you do the same thing? Pop in the comments and let me know. And I'm going to take a sip of coffee. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cold today. So if you do this and you notice that you are combating yourself, you tell yourself you shouldn't have food, and then you go run to have it, I want to give you some tools that you can use today to really help you start to overcome this. The first thing I want you to start to do is just take this form, start to see what is actually happening in your life in relationship with food. The second thing I want you to do is, let's say you do find, Barbara, like this is you, yeah. So let's say you do find that you eat bread or you eat certain foods and it creates an inflammatory response inside of your body, and you feel constipated, you feel tired, you feel achy, you feel brain fog, you start to notice that the scale goes way up. And you're like, bummer, I really like having my bread. How am I going to go without pizza? How am I going to go without these things? That's the wrong line of questioning. See, if you focus on what you can't have, your brain's going to crave them more and more and more. If you focus on what works the best in your body and how to find the foods that work the best in your body, your brain is going to naturally want to gravitate to those foods. You too, Paula. Yeah. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to figure out what's not working in your body that you also crave. Bread, pizza, whatever it might be. You know that feeling of when you eat something, you have an inflammatory response, the scale goes up, even if you didn't have much of it. Your weight goes up, and then you're like, dang it, I need to not have that. And then, a week goes by and you're like, but I really want my pizza. So I want you to start to really be solution oriented in this area, and start to, instead of think of I can't and I shouldn't, to look at how can I? How can I have pizza in a way that works for my body? How can I find, what brands can I search for that will help really make a difference so that I can have that taste and texture in my mouth? And physically, my body will respond much better. So it just takes some effort on your part to start the hunt, to go through a natural foods or a Whole Foods grocery store and to start walking the aisles and seeing what's available for you. What could you have that might work better? To look at some bread types that might work better for your body. There are gluten-free types. There are keto types. There are types of breads and tortillas and those type of things that can work beautifully well. But if you are in the habit and in the pattern of doing this, making a quesadilla for yourself every single day and then paying the price of that, and then saying, oh, but you know what? It doesn't matter. It's all I have around. And then you keep doing it and you keep expecting that you're going to lose weight. You're going to be sadly mistaken. You're going to be frustrating yourself, your brain, and your body. And worst of all, you are not going to hit your goals that you want for your weight and your body. You're just not going to. So instead, I want you to then say, okay, these tortillas, this brand is not working for my body. How can I start to look for foods that will work so much better? Are there alternatives to this tortilla that would work so much better in my body? And I want you to do the hunt, do the research, look it up, look on Google and see, go to Amazon and see, and start doing some research and look for, there are egg tortillas. There might be tortillas that are totally different, made out of vegetables, made out of a jicama, made out of different types of foods that you will say, absolutely, this is delicious, and my brain doesn't care about this. It works so much better in my body, and I feel amazing. But if you just keep repeating the habit of discovering first what foods work well in your body, and what foods don't work well, and you keep the habit of eating those foods, then what will happen is you're going to just keep on this cycle of being so frustrated versus finding foods that work so much better in your body. Foods that ignite weight loss for you. Foods that you don't care about. Foods that like, and when I say you don't care about, is like if you were to have a tortilla and that doesn't work well in your body, and you were to have something else that tastes very similar to that tortilla, and you don't care, like it is the same to you psychologically, but it's different for you physiologically, you will then be having a win. Making that swap will be worth it for you. The results will be absolutely worth it when you see on the scale that your body responds so much better. I know you can go places where you can go to like Whole Foods, and I've seen it, or they have it at Trader Joe's where you can get bread that has 3 ingredients in it: salt, yeast, and water. Like very few, or whatever it is, right? It has just a few ingredients. By having that, all of a sudden you might find that your body responds differently. I've had so many women come to me and say, you know what? I was just in Europe and I ate bread all the time and it didn't give me any symptoms. I felt amazing. It was fine. Why? Because of the ingredients. Because there was something in that bread that didn't create the inflammatory response. That's something that can sit on the shelf for months, maybe creates for you. So I want you to do the research, everybody. Start looking at what works in your body, what doesn't, and start mentally saying, okay, how can I find a similar taste, a similar a similar food product that will give me that same response? There's so many amazing options in this day and age for swaps, for foods that will really work well for you. But to play victim to the foods that aren't working well and hoping and praying that you'll be able to lose weight when you put those foods in your body that just keep showing you an inflammatory response, we've got to make some adjustments. Now, another thing you can do is you can look to have a digestive enzyme on board that will help you digest certain foods. That can certainly help you if you are in a situation where you're going to have something, you know, it provides a inflammatory response for your body. And so look at what you can do there by if you just keep some digestive enzymes with you, then all of a sudden you go, pop, I can pop that before I eat, and that will help at least make that easier on your body, make that easier on your digestive tract. I know what it's like to feel bummed out, sad, depressed, that your body or the foods you eat have a negative impact on your body, and you wish and you hope that they wouldn't. Do you ever feel like that? Like, I wish it just, how come other people just get to digest food easier than me? How is it that some people can just have a sandwich and just have it be so easy and they don't gain weight? But I have that same darn sandwich and I see the scale pop up 2 pounds. Do you ever feel like that? Does it ever feel depressing? Like somehow your body's broken, where other people's bodies just work better than yours? I know what it's like to feel like that. But what benefit does that give you to hang out in the psychological framework of feeling and thinking and hanging out in that depressed mindset like your body's broken? No, your body is not broken. Your body is so magnificent, so beautiful, so incredible, and it is its own entity that likes certain things, responds to certain things, loves other things, doesn't respond as well to other things. So the more you start to really be an advocate for your body and for what it likes, and start getting solution oriented around what it is that you can have and what swaps you can make, all of a sudden you will stop feeling so deprived. If you go to fast food, let's say, and get a burger and the bun bothers you, and at home you have a bunch of lettuce wraps and you don't care about having that, then have that. Use the lettuce wrap, throw the bun away, and then see, do you have a different experience? It's It does not serve you to keep doing the same thing over and over that is not working for you. So I want you to really get clear of what the impact food is having on your body. Determine what impact it's having so that you can start to see why and what is happening with your relationship with food. What is the psychological impact and what's the physical impact? And if the psychological impact and the physical impact are negative, then let's look at what we can do differently. Then it's up to you to start looking and training your brain to see new swaps, see new options, create new easiness. See, a lot of times I'll hear, well, it's just easier to go grab something, at a fast food place, or I don't have much time. So that's why I grabbed, that's why I made a quesadilla. No, it's also not hard to grab some carrot sticks. It's also not hard to have some chicken on hand that's been pre-cooked and made for you. So I just want you to see the reasoning in your brain that oftentimes we say, like it's hard, or I just need to make this easy on me, or I didn't have time, is just really an excuse because it's not any harder to grab a tortilla as it is, a lettuce wrap and throw some turkey on there. It's that we don't want the lettuce wrap and turkey. Let's just get real. We want the tortilla and cheese. We want the grilled cheese. We want that. So let's get real with yourself. If that's what you want, find the best option for that tortilla that works well in your body. Stop fighting with your brain and start working with it to get you these beautiful weight loss results that you crave. Okay? So your journey this week is I want you to start to get real with yourself. Get real about what foods are working really well in your body, what gives you that glow, what makes you feel amazing, and what foods aren't giving you that. And then I want you to focus your brain on giving yourself more of those things. And when you want those foods that maybe you say you want all the time, let's start looking at ways to give you those. See about an avocado brownie. Try out some different things, everybody. Explore and expand your food options. Explore and expand so your body can explore and expand and show you what works better than staying in the same habit of working and having foods in its body that may not work as well. So I want you to play with this. I want you to have so much fun figuring out what works and what doesn't work, and then finding and working with your brain to discover what new foods you can start incorporating that work so much better in your body. Okay? So play, have fun, try this out. If it helps you, then download the form so you can start looking at the impact food is having on you. And let's start seeing some different results on this scale. Okay, it's time. Hello, Miss Lynn. Hello, Miss Paula. Hi, Bart. It's so good to see all of you. Nice to see you. Okay. So I know this is a short training today, but it's impactful if you actually do the work. This training will change your relationship with food from the inside out and get you seeing weight loss results if you're open and willing to start to first identify the impact food is having on your body and then start making swaps. All right? But don't make swaps that you psychologically resist against. Make swaps that you're excited to try out, test, and do, and see what the impact is on your body. All right? All right. Go be solution oriented. And if you haven't taken the weight loss course yet, please sign up, take the weight loss course, and let's start getting you the results you want from the inside out in a way that psychologically and physiologically will create the results you want. All right, everybody, have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.